Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nina, otherwise known as Sinfulpluto, and today we are doing a summer 2021 pick a card. Okay, so what's going on with you this summer? Are we falling in love? Are we finding a new job? What's happening, bro? Like, what's going on? Okay, so I'm super excited. I know it's been a minute since I've been here, since I filmed, so I'm like a little nervous. I'm a little like rusty, if you will. But we're gonna get through this. We're gonna power through. I'm really excited. So let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna do a close-up on the cards and you can like intuitively feel out like the crystals and shit. So let's get right into it. And yeah, if you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so at sinfulpluto.com. If you want to find me on social media, you can do so on Twitter and Instagram at Sinfulpluto. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, my loves, as you can see, we have 4 piles from which you can choose for your summer 2021. We have first a moon-shaped rose quartz for pile 1. Pile 2 is yellow agate, pile 3 is red agate, and pile 4 is a heart-shaped jasper. So take a minute to pick which pile resonates with you, which crystal resonates with you, and then I will be leaving timestamps down below that you can just click on when you're ready. So let's get right into it. Hello, group 1. Hi, how are you? So obviously if you chose this card, chose this pile, you got like the little moon-shaped rose quartz. It's super cute. I love her. She's a cutie pie. I don't know if you can see that. Oh my god, like, wait, but I'm pale. You can't see it. Okay, whatever, it's fine. All right, so let's see what's going on for you in this summer. Okay, so we have the Strength card right here. So maybe you're Leo or dealing with a Leo. I don't fucking know. We have the 7 of Cups. Okay, we have the Hierophant. You could be dealing with a Taurus or a Capricorn, and we have the Wheel of Fortune. So let me put that. That'd be better. I don't fucking know. Okay, so summer 2021. Some of you might be getting a really nice bod this summer. Okay, maybe some of you are really working out a lot this summer, trying to achieve your ideal body. For some of you, this could just also be self-discipline in other areas of your life. Maybe you are just working a lot more on whatever projects you have, whether it's creative or work related or school related, whatever it is, right? Like I see a kind of a stronger sense of a discipline and inner strength and resilience and a sort of passion. Like I see you feeling very passionate during the summer and kind of you put your mind to something, you're like, okay, like I'm doing this, period, like we're getting this done no matter what type of thing. And it seems that with the 7 of Cups here, whatever sense of discipline you are gaining momentum with is going to open a lot of doors here for you, right? You're gonna have a lot of options. So in terms of like, for example, whether it's like really focusing on your physical appearance, whether it is actually working on your ideal body or just being more disciplined in terms of self-care, maybe like eating more healthy, or whether it means changing up your style, your aesthetic, things along those lines, whatever it is that you do like physically, that may make you seem more appealing and you might open a lot of doors, not just in terms of like romance and dating and things like that and, you know, attracting a bunch of different suitors, but also that might open doors for you in different areas of your life, whether it's career or in creative areas or at school, whatever the case may be, you know what I mean? Like when you present yourself in a different way and kind of change up your aesthetic, change up your style, I feel like that's kind of almost going to catch people off guard, and it might be different for some people or for like certain organizations, and people are going to be really drawn to that, whether again it's like professionally or romantically, platonically, whatever the case may be. That seems to be a thing that might be happening for you during the summer. Okay, next we have the Hierophant. So again, this is like a sense of discipline, building a foundation. This is your routine. So again, you might be focusing a lot on your routine, whether it is like eating healthier or whether it is another form of self-care, whether it is working out, whether it's building strength, whether it is, you know, becoming a lot more skilled in a creative endeavor of yours, or becoming a lot more skilled in something that you've been working on for a while, whether it's at school or with like maybe drawing or painting or something along those lines, like building a sort of routine around that and building a foundation. Maybe you're just starting something new, you know, like building a new skill, getting better at something. And the more that you do it, obviously the better that you get, and the more like abundance that you end up attracting, the more doors that you end up opening for yourself, which is really cool. That's really exciting. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune here, which is like, of course, it can be good luck, it can be expansion, but also I kind of get this vibe of you possibly feeling a lot more free, a lot more kind of like open to express yourself, a lot more comfortable expressing yourself. And also kind of, I wonder if some of you are worrying a little less about how people perceive you. I wonder if for some of you with this spread, it's like you're worrying less about presenting yourself in a way that is like appealing to other people, and you are doing things that more so appeal to you and your emotions and what makes you happy as a person, as opposed to what makes other people happy. And with that being said, I feel like that sort of vibe that you're creating for yourself is going to end up opening a lot of doors for you, which is really exciting. We love opening doors, like hell yeah. And so that is going to give you a sense of freedom and liberation that you might not have experienced in a while. So that's really exciting, isn't it? All right, let's see what else we have here for you. All right, we have stuck energy reversed. Okay, so you're getting out of a funk. Absolutely. It seems like you're going to be having a lot more motivation, a lot more courage, confidence, a lot more passion. Like I said earlier, there's something that you are going to be fixating on, I think, and you're focusing a lot and building a lot of discipline around, whether it is with your physical appearance or work or creative endeavors. It just seems like you are getting out of a funk that you have been in for a while. And I feel like there's just going to be a lot more focus, and that you are going to be very motivated, and that is really going to open a lot of doors for you. For some of you, I wonder if you're into like music, for example. I wonder if you, or just, it doesn't even have to be music, but anything where there's like a higher up in some sense, like with the Hierophant, with the Hierophant, that can be like an institution type of thing. And then next to it is the Seven of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. So a lot of abundance and like good luck in terms of getting in contact with like an authority figure, or with like some sort of company that you want to get signed to. Like, for example, maybe you have been wanting to get into modeling or something. Maybe you're going to be receiving a lot of callbacks this summer. If it were modeling or something along those lines. I don't know, I don't know your life. So there's that, a lot of motivation, things really moving forward, and you possibly even feeling a little bit overwhelmed from all of the sudden abundance that you are getting, because it kind of seems like you have been that you will be working on this for a while, or you have been disciplined for a while, and then in the summer it's like you're just being hit with results upon results upon results, to the point where it's like, I don't know what to do, like I feel a little bit overwhelmed and that type of thing. So you might feel kind of like, oh shit, like I'm a little overwhelmed, I need to step back, and if you do, that's okay. And then we have conflict, which is cool. It's like a woman on a sailboat, and she is kind of like running through the waves, trying to control her sailboat, like get control back on her sailboat, which is cool. Excuse me. Oh my God, Nina. So this is interesting, because I don't necessarily view this conflict card as like a bad thing. This more so looks to me like things finally moving forward. It might be a little bit tumultuous at first because it is a little overwhelming, but I feel like you are going to get a hold of it by the end of the summer, by the middle of the summer. You're going to have a hold over it and kind of know exactly what you're doing. You're going to have a better idea as to how to approach things. And kind of just getting the ball rolling. I feel that because it's like, right, you've been in this stuck energy before, and you're finally getting out of it. That's why we have this card reversed. So you're getting out of this funk, right? And in order to get out of that funk, it's like there's something that needs to light a fire under your ass to get you moving. So there might be something in the beginning of the summer where it kind of really pushes you or motivates you to do the thing that you may have been procrastinating on doing. And then that's what begins this whole journey of the discipline. Like there's something that might happen that kind of will flip a switch in you, that will kind of light up the light bulb in you, and you're like, okay, like I have to get this done. I really want to get this done. I'm actually passionate about this type of thing. It's almost like kind of stepping out of this sort of complacency that you might have been in up until this point, right? And then we have decrease here, and it's so cool because we have so many fours. We have, well, it's 2 4s so far. But we have 2 4s, so maybe the number 4 is significant to you. This to me just reads as like building foundations and releasing anything that is no longer serving you, anything that may be comfortable to you but it's just kind of outdated, and you're building something new. You're building new routines, you're building new connections, you might be networking a lot, that type of thing. Okay, so decrease, I love this card because paired with the conflict card, right? Like you have this ocean, this sea storm, if you will, and then there is a puddle, right? So there's like that decrease of conflict, and this to me kind of reads as you getting a better hold of the overwhelming choices that you have in life, and also getting a hold of like whatever obstacles kind of present themselves throughout the summer for you. And I feel like you kind of are going to be tested throughout the summer in terms of your passion, your motivation, and your resilience. It's almost like the universe is testing you to see like, do you actually want this, or are you just saying this? Because maybe in the past, you know, you may have been the type where it's like, oh, I really want to do this, but then you give up on yourself really easily, or you kind of lose interest, or you kind of end up comparing yourself so much to other people that you're like, okay, like I don't even want to do this. I can't even compete where I don't compare type of thing. And that might have really gotten the best of you and stopped you from pursuing things that you want to do. So I feel that and throughout the summer, you might be experiencing these sort of like little tests where it's like, do you really want this? And you're gonna be like, okay, like I actually do. And then you kind of push through it, and then that builds up your own resilience and things along those lines. So I kind of see you getting a better hold over that, to the point where what was once a big storm for you and what was once really difficult for you becomes like a little puddle that you can jump over type of thing, which is really cool, and that's really exciting, and I love that for you. Okay. Next we have Ghost reversed, which is so cute. I love her. And then we have Isolation reversed. So cute, love her as well. And I love that these are both gray cards. So I wonder if this is you kind of stepping out again of this gray area in your life of complacency and kind of making all of these plans and saying that you're going to do all of these things, but never really following through with them. So I think that in the summer, you're kind of stepping out of that. You're stepping into the world of vibrancy and like color and just like seeing things differently. I wonder, like before the summer and leading up until this point, the world has been really gray. I mean, obviously we're in quarantine. We're in a pandemic. Like there's not really much that you can be doing right now. I mean, unless you're staying safe, you know, like if you're staying safe, you know, and kind of staying inside and, you know, minding your business, there's not really much that one can do. You know what I mean? I can't say anything for the rest of the people, but yes. And so it's like the world has been feeling really gray and down, and just there's so much going on. And so I feel like you're stepping out of that this summer. The world is going to feel so much more vibrant, so much more alive. I feel like you're going to have so much more energy. And we have, you know, Ghost reversed to me kind of reads as the past no longer haunting you. You finally being able to overcome past conflicts, past programming, if you will, and you know, right, like that stuck energy reverse, finally being able to overcome that because of your self-discipline, because of your passion, and because of your desire to get a hold over your raw emotions, being able to get a hold of like what you're feeling and not letting it overcome you or overtake you to the point where it just kind of stops you and like paralyzes you. We have Isolation reversed, like we said earlier. So you could be going out and meeting a lot of new people during the summer. I mean, we'll see how the summer goes, but you could be meeting a lot more people. You could be really networking with a lot of people and feeling less alone. I feel like there's going to be a point where you feel understood, and there's kind of this full circle moment of where people relate to whatever struggles that you have been dealing with, and kind of realizing that you are not alone in whatever you have been dealing with up until this point. Which I think is going to be very reassuring for you and very validating. And it's kind of going to help to close a chapter in your life, which is awesome, which is cool. We love that for you. So that's cool. Okay, finally, we have storm. Every hurricane comes to an end. And again, we have 44 at the top. So the number 4 could be really significant to you. And if you add 4 plus 4, that's 8. And stuck energy is 8. Strength is an 8, so 8 and 4 could be really significant to you in one way or another. Also, the number 8 relates to abundance that you get from hard work and dedication and being really ambitious. Okay, shoot for the stars this summer, because it might really get you somewhere that you want to be. Don't hold yourself back. There are a lot of doors opening for you. Okay, so we have storm. Every hurricane comes to an end. Again, I love the imagery of the storm and like the water and everything, because you can just see her like kind of hopping over the puddle, right? Like the problems don't seem as big as they once felt, right? There's a lot of emotional growth and maturity there, alongside with really great opportunities that you can that the universe is like handing to you, basically. Through, well, it's not really handing to you, you know, you worked for it, but it's a lot of opportunities coming your way from your resilience, from your hard work and your passion and motivation and willingness to work towards whatever it is that you want, which is really cool. And that's really exciting. So we love that for you, you know, rainbow after the storm type of thing. So it could even be that the summer, like it starts off a little bit rocky, but with the willingness to endure, with the willingness to kind of push through the tumult, to push through, you know, like the up and down waves and all of that, you know, eventually you get to pass through the storm and you see the rainbow and you're like, wow, that was really rewarding. I built a lot of strength. I built a lot of this. I built a lot of that. And I have a lot of really wonderful opportunities with it now. So yes, that is what I have for you, group 1. I hope that resonates. I hope you were able to get something out of this. And with that being said, I will talk to you later. Bye. Hello, group 2. Welcome to your reading. Obviously, you chose this pile. You chose the yellow agate. She's so freaking cute, bitch. We love her. We stan yellow agate. So let's go ahead and get right into your reading. So first, we have the 3 of Pentacles. So you might be networking a lot. This summer, we have the Ace of Wands. We have the Moon and the Fool reversed. Let me actually, I mean, you're not even gonna be able to see them anyway, but whatever. Okay. So this summer for you, this actually looks kind of cool. So we have the 3 of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. So you might be feeling really passionate. You might be networking a lot this summer, getting to know new people, kind of building a sort of community to help you in the long run. And to kind of support one another. With this Ace of Wands, this looks like a lot of passion. There might be like a new endeavor, a new interest that you are chasing after, which is really cool. There's might be some sort of like new beginning here. Also, the Ace of Wands just kind of feels like a burst of energy. So throughout the summer, you just might be experiencing just like this burst of energy that you might not have experienced in the past. Kind of just like you not wanting to waste any time, not wanting to waste a second. Like you just want to go type of thing. You want to talk to people. I can imagine, you know, I'm not sure what the conditions are going to be like during the summer, right? Like, are we going to be going out? You know, all of that. But I feel like you might be going out a lot this summer. You might be just getting to know a lot of people, making a lot of new friends. I feel like you're going to be trying out a lot of new and different things, which is really exciting, really cool. Like you're just having a lot of really wonderful and enriching experiences, and having a lot of people kind of fuel you and continue to motivate you, and possibly even like brainstorming different ideas as to what you want to do this summer. And this could also just be work where you're just surrounded by people who support you and who kind of want to help you achieve your dreams or to achieve whatever it is that you put your mind to. And then we have the moon and the full reverse, which is really interesting, right? So the moon here, this can talk about like something that is hidden from us. It can talk about like hidden motivations. It can talk about illusions or something, like I said, like something that is unknown to us. That could be the fear of the unknown. So maybe this is something that you are dealing with, kind of like a fear of the unknown. Maybe, you know, with the pandemic and everything, a lot of people have been really isolated and we may have lost a lot of our social skills. And so this summer might be a really great way to put your social skills to the test, to reinforce them, to get better at them, to improve them, that type of thing. So that could be like, you know, you have the motivation and that you want to go out, but there might be the fear of like, I don't know, which is very understandable. Please, by all means, stay safe, and do whatever it is that you are comfortable with and all of that. But yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. So there might be the fear of like, oh, like, I don't know if this is like the right thing for me. Like, I may have gotten my vaccine, but I still don't feel all that safe, again, which is very understandable. So you might be kind of grappling with that, where it's like, you want to go out, you want to meet new people, you want to do this, you want to do that, but then there's like the fear of the unknown because you have been isolated for so long. And we have the full reverse, right? Which is you basically not wanting to take a leap of faith, you know, kind of feeling a little bit jaded. You know, you have seen what other people have experienced, you know, what other people have done in, you know, going out and everything, and kind of seeing the consequences that they may have suffered because of they weren't safe, or because they weren't taking the proper precautions, or maybe they did take the proper precautions but still ended up kind of suffering certain consequences. So that might be something that you are grappling with throughout the summer. And the best thing that I can really say for you is, you know, it's very understandable and it's very valid for you to feel the way that you feel. Obviously, like, this isn't something that we experience every day, and it's important to be not only considerate of other people, but to keep ourselves safe, to worry about ourselves, and to, you know, put our well-being first, to put our health first. And, you know, like, pandemics are weird. Pandemics are fucking crazy, bro. So I could definitely understand like the desire to just like want to stay home, to just not want to deal with anyone. But obviously, you know, if you're feeling restless, you know, find some certain alternative where it's like an open space, an open area type of thing, where you're not in close contact or in close proximity with people, that type of thing. And, you know, find, you know, things that suit or that kind of work around, or are able to work around, you know, what we're dealing with right now. So, you know, there's always a middle ground that can be found throughout all of this. So yes, I am obviously a poet. So yes, there's that. But also for another group of you, for another part of you, we have with this moon card and with the full reversed, the vibe that I also get from this is like you possibly trying to distract yourself with work, right? Because moon card can be something that you repress, and then the full reverse can be like, you know better, but you don't really want to admit it kind of thing. Like you're trying to ignore certain things, trying to act as if you are naive when you might not necessarily be all that naive. So yeah, so you might be trying to distract yourself, trying to be like, I don't really want to deal with these repressed emotions. I don't want to deal with this and that and the third. I'm just going to distract myself with work. I'm going to distract myself by meeting people. I'm going to distract myself with this new creative thing, blah, blah, blah. And you know, I could definitely understand that. I mean, it happens, but also make sure that you are not pushing and brushing these things under the rug, because it will eventually resurface and bite you in the ass. So there's that. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So next we have intention, hidden motivations. Okay, that's really interesting. And then we have behind a mask, also interesting. So this to me relates a lot to the moon card. And then after that is the new beginnings, which is really interesting because we do have the full card. So again, there's some sort of like new beginning here, or just some sort of like naivety. So this is interesting. So how many times can I say so? Oh my God. With this Three of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, and the Three of and the moon card, I wonder if for some of you, you are going to have some sort of job opportunity or be presented with a job opportunity, or some sort of project, some sort of endeavor. And initially it seems like really great. You know, you get to work with a really great community. Maybe there's really wonderful pay, whatever the case may be. But then with the moon card, there might be hidden motivations here. And so that might be something that you need to be aware of, you know, to be mindful of, to use your discernment, you know, to ask questions, to do research very thoroughly, so that you are not somehow taken advantage of or anything like that. But this to me also more so reads as you possibly hiding a part of yourself, maybe to get along with people better. This could also just be you, the whole thing of not wanting to admit something to yourself, not wanting to deal with certain things in your life, because it might just be a lot to deal with, you know what I mean? I mean, whether it's like some sort of trauma or just some sort of inner wound that you have yet to heal. I wonder if that's just something that you, of course, like no one really wants to deal with that, because it can be painful. It can bring up a lot of negative emotions that we don't like to deal with, or maybe that we don't know how to deal with. And so that might be a reason as to why you don't want to deal with this in the first place, that you kind of just want to avoid it and kind of dig your head in the sand. Is that how you say it? Whatever, you know what I mean. So that might be something that is kind of happening for you this summer, and that's something that you might be grappling with. And so in which case, my advice to you would be, yes, like it's understandable that you don't want to deal with these negative emotions, but at the end of the day, they are going to resurface one way or another. So consider whether or not you will want to deal with them in a big explosion because of the accumulation of undealt with emotions, or if you want to deal with them as they come. Of course, you don't have to do this alone. You can rely on a community. You know, you can find people that you know that you can trust. You know, maybe there are people that you know that you can trust, that you can open up to, and they might be able to help you and support you and give you the advice, the reassurance that you need, and kind of hold your hand throughout this process of healing. Or, you know, maybe there's like some sort of community that you can reach out to, a group that you can reach out to. If you have access to like professional guidance in any sort of way, then I would encourage you to take advantage of that. If there are cheaper alternatives, you know, do research on that and see what you can do for yourself, so that you can help yourself to better cope with whatever it is that you are struggling to manage and to sift through, type of thing, right? So we have new beginnings. So that's really exciting. You might be feeling really, it just reminds me a lot of the Ace of Wands here. Just like feeling really motivated to do things, feeling really motivated to get out and to try out different things, that sort of thing. This to me also kind of reads as like gaining experience, or kind of a blank slate in some way. And the summer might be a time where you are gaining experience in different areas of your life and kind of learning more about yourself, learning more about the world, learning more about other people and the way that they function, learning more about the way that you cope with things, that sort of thing, and kind of seeing through things that you might not have seen through before, kind of like a level of transparency, and kind of not like learning how to not fall in the same traps that you may have fallen in before, if that makes sense. Okay. What is this? So we have like a girl. With this hidden motivations card, I really like the imagery of this, because it kind of just reminds me of how, I don't know, like for some reason this kind of, I feel like this is almost like the subconscious self, like this thing that is hidden from us, right? Because we have this curtain here. So it's like the subconscious. So I wonder if there's going to be like a lot of like inner child healing for you this month, or in the coming summer. And of course, like no one really wants to deal with like all of that, because it can be heavy, but I feel like there's going to be a lot that you are going to learn from yourself and about yourself, by doing a lot of inner child healing, and kind of raising the curtains on certain things that you might not have realized before, or maybe you just didn't want to acknowledge before. That's cool. I feel like you're going to become a lot more in tune with yourself this summer, which is cool. We love that. We love that for you. Okay, so next we have disruption. So this to me kind of reminds me of the Tower card. So there's going to be a lot of unlearning for you during the summer. There's going to be a lot of unlearning. It might be a little bit uncomfortable. It might be a little bit painful, but you are going to end up with this new beginning, right? With a blank slate, feeling very refreshed and feeling just very alive and motivated and looking at the world from a new and different perspective. You're going to be approaching things differently. You are going to see things that you may not have seen before. I wonder for some of you, like, you're going to be really getting into like reading self-help books or something like that, or watching a lot of self-help videos, empowering videos. Maybe you're going to be doing a lot of meditation throughout the summer. Focusing a lot on independence and on self, and you might end up finding, again, a community that helps you and supports you throughout all of this. That a lot of people that you can relate to. Maybe like on Facebook, there's going to be a group that you end up finding that have similar experiences, and you might feel a lot less alone throughout all of that. You know, there's just like a sense of like maturity and growing up and just healing a lot of internal wounds that you might not have healed before, right? Okay, so we have rest reversed, which is interesting. So this could be you feeling really restless. Maybe you end up, you know, you have opened Pandora's box and you don't want to stop and you just want to keep on going and going and going, in which case, you know, that's awesome. We love that for you. We applaud you. But make sure that you are taking the necessary time to rest, to rejuvenate yourself, to give yourself a break from everything, to enjoy the world a little bit, to, you know, it's good to do all of the healing, but, you know, everyone needs a break every once in a while, okay? So find things that can kind of take your mind off of all of the heavy stuff and kind of help you stay, like, motivated and rejuvenated and passionate about everything and all of that. If there is any sort of project that you are working on, any sort of work endeavor, right, with the Three of Pentacles, collaborations or networking that you're doing, make sure that you are taking the time to rest. So that you don't end up overworking yourself or anything along those lines. You know what I mean? Make sure that you are taking time for yourself, okay? And then we have 40 morning, the world awaits you, which is really cool. So this, to me, honestly, this just feels like a lot of an awakening. I think that's just like the best way to describe what's going on for you this summer is you're going to be having some sort of awakening, right? Like you're waking up from a lot of, you're waking up, right? And you are coming to the realization, or you are acknowledging a lot of patterns or habits or traps that you may have found yourself in within the past few years. And you are going to be working to basically program yourself to be different, or to uninstall this programming that has been around for so long and kind of, I received a text message and it was all caps and I got really confused. Okay. So yes, I feel like you're going to be having an awakening, and there's a lot of unlearning, but with the unlearning comes a lot of new knowledge and new experiences that is going to be really exciting for you. So yes, that is what I have for you. It might be overwhelming, but, you know, take it step by step, baby steps here. Okay. Don't overwhelm yourself. And yes, at the end of the day, you are going to come out of this stronger. Okay. You're going to come out of this more knowledgeable, more wise, and a lot more confident within yourself, I think. So that is what I have for you. I hope it resonates. I hope you were able to get something out of this. And with that being said, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hey, group 3, welcome to your reading. Obviously, we chose this pile. You chose the red. I think this is red agate. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's red agate. So let's get into your, I'll just put that there. Into your reading. So we have the Chariot reversed. Okay, you could be dealing with a Cancer. Maybe you're a Cancer, have Cancer placements. We'll see. We have the Two of Cups. Okay, so we have relationships. Maybe you're going back to a relationship in your life. We have the Black Newman, and we have the Eight of Cups reversed. Okay, girl. All right. Okay, so honestly, this could be relationship related, whether it is like a friendship or a romantic relationship or familial type of thing. But basically what I'm seeing here, what the cards are showing me, okay, I, as the tarot lady, So with the Chariot reversed, this to me, and with the Two of Cups here, what this is kind of showing me here is that some of you might end up reverting to or regressing in some way, going back to a relationship that may have needed to end a while ago. Maybe this is like an ongoing cycle that you have between you and another person in your life. It just kind of looks like sort of like a lack of progress. And we have this Black Newman card, which is basically kind of like having a death grip on something. This talks about having kind of like really holding on to something for dear life and staying in something even though it may go against your well-being, even though it may come at the cost of your well-being. And we have the Eight of Cups reversed here, which is basically holding on to the past, you know, really having such a strong emotional attachment to something or to someone that you're like, I want to keep on working this out type of thing. You know, maybe you two have had this sort of up and down cycle where it's on, where it's off, where it's like, I really love this person. I have such a strong attachment to this person. And I know that, you know, things that have been difficult and whatnot, but I really love them. I see their potential, and this is the only person that I see myself with in the future, that type of thing. And so maybe that's kind of what's holding you back from really moving forward, right? But it seems that it's kind of working against you. And I'm not like laughing at you, but I'm just like, damn, bro. But it just kind of looks like a lack of progress. Like there's right, with the Chariot reverse, things are stuck, things are stagnant, things aren't really moving forward, or they're not moving in the direction that you really want them to. You know, maybe temporarily things feel as though they are moving forward, but very quickly, you know, things fall back into old patterns. And history ends up repeating itself, right? With the Chariot reverse, maybe you feel as though you don't have the willpower to leave this person, right? You don't have it in you to make the final decision and be like, damn, like things just aren't gonna work out, and they haven't worked out for a long time, so I'm going to make the executive decision to just let things go and move forward and do my own thing, right? Maybe you just don't have it in you, right? Because whether it's like you have a strong attachment to this person, or maybe this person just keeps on hitting you up and you're like, damn, bro, like I really like them, I really like the times that we have, that sort of thing. So that might be something that you're kind of just grappling with throughout the summer, where things just are kind of expired at this point. They might be a little bit outdated at this point. You know, things are just not working out. Things are a little bit stagnant. You're not really wanting to work out, or things are really not working out, but a part of you is just like, I don't want to give it a second chance. I don't want to give it a fifth chance. Maybe this time will be different, blah, 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 blah. You know, same old story that we tell ourselves all the time, right? So that might be something that you are going through. And with this Two of Cups, I feel like this summer is really a time for you to reconnect with yourself. I wonder if for some of you, you may have lost yourself in trying to make this relationship work. Maybe you lost yourself in this person. Maybe you have forgotten who you are outside of this relationship. Maybe you have forgotten who you are outside of this drama. Like, who are you outside of all of this, outside of all of the conflict, outside of all of this shit that's going on? Oh my God, is this person like, oh, okay, no, cool, never mind. I thought they were about to fucking, what's it called? Mow the lawn. That's what it's called. And I was like, wait, I'm in the middle of something. Okay, so that's kind of what yeah, so this summer could really be a time of you learning how to reconnect with yourself and finding your sense of independence and freedom once again. Throughout all of this, it kind of just seems like things are outdated and it's time to let things go. Of course, that is so much easier said than done, especially if you have a long past with someone, a lot of history with someone. But, you know, having history with someone, yes, it may be difficult to let go of them, but that's not enough to kind of justify staying, and to try to make something that has just never really worked out, you know, based off of the past. You can observe that. and trying to just continue to make it work, even though it's been proven multiple times that like things just aren't working. Maybe you're just not compatible as people, or maybe this other person just has a lot of growth to do that doesn't involve you, type of thing. So yes, next we have courage. So this, to me, again, it kind of reminds me of the Two of Cups, where it's like, this summer, you are needing to develop the courage to do things on your own, right? Maybe you're just not used to being with someone. Maybe this isn't like with one specific person that you've been dealing with, but maybe you've just been stuck in this cycle of feeling like you always need someone to count on and to rely on. You know what I mean? Maybe there's just some sort of codependent issues here where you feel like you can't do anything on your own. Like, you don't know who you are if you don't have someone next to you. Like, you feel as if you are not whole if you don't have a friend next to you, or a partner with you, someone who is just always holding your hand. You know what I mean? Maybe that's just like a pattern that you have been living out throughout your childhood and throughout your upbringing, and there's just something that's repeating. So I wonder if this summer the universe really wants you to test yourself on, you know, your sense of independence and that sort of thing, you know, building up the courage to kind of go into this really unknown place in your life of basically being alone, doing things on your own and not really relying on anyone except yourself. Even if it is initially really scary and really uncomfortable and just like awkward, you know what I mean? So that could be something that you are experiencing this summer. We have commitment, right? So this to me kind of reads as like you basically recommitting to yourself, doing things on your own, committing to, I also feel like this is boundaries. I feel like this is boundaries. This is like rules, this is regulations type of thing. So building boundaries with yourself, building boundaries with the people in your life, other people building boundaries with you. And sticking to those boundaries, even if it initially feels uncomfortable, even if it's not instantly gratifying, that sort of thing, which is really cool. And I feel like it's going to teach you a lot on how to be on your own. It's going to teach you a lot about, like, it's not scary being alone. And I feel like there might be a lot of unpacking for you this summer in terms of like, where did this codependence come from? You know, does it come from a feeling of abandonment, a fear of like loneliness, a fear of just feeling like you are somehow not competent enough to do things on your own, whatever that might be. So you might be working a lot on that throughout the summer, which is really cool, which is really exciting. There's a recommitment towards yourself and just boundaries, like learning how to set boundaries. You know, maybe there's something with people pleasing that you haven't been dealing with, and if that's the case, I feel like this summer is a really great opportunity for you to basically work on that and to recommit to, like I said, yourself. So yeah, we have optimism here, which is really cool. This to me kind of gives me like vibes of like a new beginning, and also you kind of realizing that the world is just as abundant, if not more abundant, when you do things on your own. And kind of realizing that there's so much that the world has to offer you, but maybe you held yourself back because you were always committed to someone else. I feel like you may have lived in other people's shadows, or you kind of may have worshipped other people, for example, to the point where it's like none of your needs or your wants and desires mattered. It was always what other people wanted, and you always supporting other people. And I think this summer you are reconnecting with your wants and your desires and kind of going out and doing things that make you happy rather than what makes other people happy. I feel like you're giving yourself a lot of space to be yourself, to do things that you love to do things that you may have stopped yourself from doing for a while, whatever the case may be. So there's that. That's really exciting here. Okay. And then we have happiness. Yeah. So I just get this vibe of like you feeling really revitalized once you start doing things for yourself and regaining your sense of independence, regaining your sense of freedom. Okay. When we have intuition reverse. So your intuition may have been blocked up until this point, right? Because I wonder if for some of you, you tried to give people the benefit of the doubt and they ended up just fucking you over. So I wonder if in the summer that is something that is going to be acknowledged or kind of be put on the forefront, and you're gonna be like, oh, okay, this is what happened. And I feel like you are really working on reinforcing boundaries with yourself. And if there's like a gut feeling that you have, you're not going to ignore it. You're not going to be giving people the benefit of the doubt all of the time. And you're putting your own happiness first. I feel like there's something that's going to happen where you get a taste of that, and you're going to be like, wow, I want more of this. I want more of this happiness. I want more of the joy that I get from doing things on my own, whether it's just grocery shopping, whether it means going to the movies, or like going to the beach alone, or whatever the case may be, like not relying on other people to do things, but just kind of doing things on your own. There's a greater sense of, and you're gonna get really empowered with this. Like there's gonna be a greater sense of empowerment with that, which is really cool. And I just feel like you're reconnecting with yourself, like I said earlier. So yes, and then we have Mural, be your own first priority. So this all ties in together, okay? This summer you were learning all about being on your own. You're regaining your sense of independence and instilling boundaries with yourself and instilling boundaries with others, so that you are not being taken advantage of, or that you are not losing yourself in other people, so that your needs and your desires aren't being put on the back burner. Because at the end of the day, like, you don't deserve that. You deserve to have your needs met. You deserve to have your wants met. And so there might be a lot of unpacking in terms of like the codependence, in terms of the people pleasing and stuff like that, and you just reconnecting with who you are, reconnecting with what you want to do, reconnecting with the idea of like what you want to pursue, and like who you are outside of these relationships. Who do you want to be outside of these relationships? What is your identity outside of these relationships? Your identity is so much more than just relationships, whether it's platonic, familial, romantic, you know, there's like, you are so much more than that. And I think that you're going to be getting a lot of insight into that and really walking away from that. And there's a sense of empowerment that comes with all of that. So yes, that is what I have for you. Group, what is this, 3? I hope it resonates. I hope you were able to get something out of this. And with that being said, I will talk to you later. Bye. Welcome, group 4, to your reading. Obviously, this shows us how you chose the multicolored heart-shaped Jasper. That's what that is. She's so cute. I love her. We stan her. So let's get right into your reading, group 4. We have the Lovers. You might be dealing with a Gemini during the summer. That's cool. You might be having romantic relationship this summer. That's cool. You might have a flame or something. We have the 2 of Wands. Okay, so future planning with a romantic partner. We have the 6 of Wands, and we have the 6 of Cups. So there's a lot of 6s here, right? The Lovers is the 6th card, so I don't know if the number 6 is important to you, or it might be significant to you throughout the summer. 6 is also a sign of, like, I believe, to my understanding, okay, 6 has to do with reciprocation, caretaking, nurturing, being there for other people, that type of thing. That's all I can remember about number 6. There could be more, but that's what I have at the moment. Okay, so we have the Lovers and the 2 of Wands here. So for some of you, there could be some sort of relationship plans that you are thinking about this summer. Maybe you are taking the next step with your romantic partner, or maybe you're taking the next step with like your best friend or some shit. Maybe you're moving in together. Who knows? But that's really exciting. That's really cool. The 2 of Wands, I also feel as though some of you are really putting yourself out there this summer, whether it's like romantically or whatever the case may be. Like, I feel like you're just putting yourself out there, right? Because with this 2 of Wands, I kind of view it as you basically pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, doing things that are new, that are different, building up the courage to explore life. You know what I mean? Right? So we have that 6 of Wands, right? Which is like attention. But to me, this is also like courage and bravery, you know, having the courage to put yourself out there, to be seen by the world type of thing, which is really cool. We love that. We love that for you. What else? What else can we see here? I feel like you could be making a lot of friends. You could be making a lot of new connections during the summer with that 6 of Cups, making a lot of new friends, building really sentimental connections, if you will, like connections that are a lot deeper than just like surface level. For some of you, you know, maybe friends from the past, you could be connecting with friends from the past and catching up and building a stronger bond with one another in one way or in some way, right? For some of you, maybe like moving in with your childhood best friend, something like that, which is really cool, which is really exciting. Maybe some of you are like working on business endeavors together, which is really cool. We love that. I feel like you're going to meet someone during the summer who kind of makes some sort of offering to you, or who is like trying to help you in some sort of way, who wants to provide a helping hand, right? Because we have the Six of Cups here, and we have the little girl with the little cup, right? And we have like her with the goat. She's like, oh my god, dude, does the goat want some water? So that's what it looks like. It's like, hello, friend, like making friends because someone does like a favor for you. Like maybe a stranger kind of buys you a coffee or something like that, and you end up kind of building a connection from there, which is really cool. We love that. We love that for you. Oh my god, my face is like so itchy. Oh my god, please. So that's really cool. I feel Two of Wands with the Six of Wands. I wonder, for some of you, you are working on building yourself up in terms of like the public eye. Maybe there's future planning in terms of your career with that Two of Wands and the Six of Wands here, right? Because Six of Wands can be attention, you know, being victorious in something, being rewarded for something. And the Two of Wands, again, it's like planning, future planning. So maybe this is something that you are working towards. You're working towards the Six of Wands. You're building yourself up so that you can have some sort of spotlight, so that the spotlight can be on you. So I wonder, for some of you, maybe like you're working on social media. You're building up your social media platforms. Maybe you are coming up with like new ideas throughout the summer in terms of like how to get your name out there. And with that Lover's card and the Six of Cups, like maybe you're building a lot of connections with like-minded people. We love that. We love that for you. Oh, you can even see that. Well, I mean, you're not even going to be seeing them anyways, so. So that's really cool. That's really exciting. We love that for you. Okay, what do we have next? We have loss. Okay, that's interesting. So I know this initially seems kind of scary, but this to me doesn't necessarily have to be a bad card. What this kind of looks like to me, especially paired with the Two of Wands here, is like you basically letting go of your comfort zone, letting go of any sort of baggage that could possibly hold you back from achieving the Six of Wands. Okay, so yeah, Six of Wands is like achievement. It's you putting yourself out there. I feel like you're going to be recognized and rewarded for things that you may not have been rewarded for in the past, or things that you have always wanted to do but you just never did before. So again, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone and kind of stepping out of this role of like, oh, I could never do this, but watching other people do it. You're like stepping out of that and kind of stepping into your own power and being very spontaneous with it. And kind of, I feel like some of you are really developing a stronger sense of like character and a stronger identity, if you will, and allowing yourself to be seen. I wonder if for some of you, you kind of hid yourself for a lot of your life or throughout your upbringing or up until this point. You may have hidden parts of yourself or tried to kind of stay away from the spotlight because it made you uncomfortable, even though you may have strongly desired it, kind of secretly desired it, but maybe you felt as though you weren't deserving of it. But with the Six of Wands, I feel like now you are kind of, you feel as though you were deserving of it. I feel like with the Six of Cups, I wonder if for some of you, you're kind of avenging your younger self this summer, where it's like maybe when you were a kid you didn't get the acknowledgement or the attention that you were looking for, and so now you're like, I finally, like, I want to avenge myself. I want to avenge my younger self. I want to do the things that I always wanted to do and receive the praise that I feel that I deserve for these things, type of thing. You know, does that make sense? Okay. So with that lost card, that's kind of what it looks like, is like you letting go of this past baggage. This reminds me a lot of the Six of Swords, just like letting go of anything that doesn't serve you, letting go of the past, letting go of past experiences, and kind of moving forward and being spontaneous. Letting go of any sort of burdens that type of thing. And we have discovery. So I wonder if for some of you, like, you're going to be like discovered online. Maybe you are going to be discovered by like this famous person, or by a company, and they want to sign you type of thing, or they want to employ you, or they want to like put you like on their PR or something along those lines, which is really cool. We love that for you. It could also be that with discovery, you might come up with some sort of idea that really helps you get the recognition that you want. It could be some sort of like creative idea, some sort of just like something. It could be something like original. Maybe it's like a dance, maybe it's something that has to do with TikTok. I don't know. But you could be like, come up with some sort of idea that is like truly like a gem, you know, like a diamond in the rough type of thing. And it might really kind of accelerate you in the direction that you want to follow. That kind of makes sense, right? And then we have the vast universe. So the universe, the world is in your hands. The world is your oyster. I feel like there's going to be a lot of manifestation that's happening here. And I feel like you're building up a lot of momentum, and it really starts with you letting go of the past, letting go of past burdens, past programming, and not allowing your burdens to get the best of you. Not allowing your insecurities to overpower you. Obviously, you know, it's okay for you to feel insecure at times. It's okay for you to feel insecure whenever you are putting yourself out there, whenever you're putting your name out there, that type of thing. But you don't let that get the best of you. You know what I mean? So there's that. I feel, yeah. Maybe there are certain people that you need to let go of, people who may have discouraged you. Maybe there are people that you need to distance yourself from, who have really stopped you from pursuing what you love and what you wanted to do, right? It's like you're putting an end to that and you're like, no, like the world is my oyster. I want to do more for myself this summer. So that's really exciting. We love it here. Okay, and then we have 2 red cards. We have passion, okay, and then we have stop. Okay, so with this passion card, okay, you might be feeling really passionate, really riled up. This could also be like a really passionate relationship that you are entering this summer. You know, maybe it's like a really cute fling. We love a fling. God, you know. Or maybe it's just this is you feeling passionate about the projects that you were really finally starting, about the people that you are meeting, about, you know, just doing the thing that you've always wanted to do, right? Avenging your inner child in one way or another. You're following your passions. So that's cool. And then we have the stop card. So this to me kind of reads as like, that's awesome. You're feeling passionate. You're feeling really motivated, but know when to stop. Know when to give yourself some rest. Okay. Don't burn yourself out. What this kind of looks like is like, stop yourself before it's too late type of thing. Oh my God, it's like matching my lips. I love that. So what was I saying? Yes, stop while you're ahead type of thing. Stop while you're ahead. Make sure to give yourself the breaks that you need so that you don't end up feeling burnt out. Because what I keep on thinking about is like you possibly like doing TikTok, for example, and you're like really excited, especially when you see the numbers going up. And you're like, oh my God, like I want to put out more content. I want to do this. I want to do that. I love the attention that I'm getting. I love the praise that I'm getting, blah, 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 blah. And then it gets to a point where it's like I'm not passionate about this thing anymore. Like I feel that this is more of a chore and an obligation than a passion. And I don't want it to be this way. I did this because I loved it and because I love doing this thing. Like I love entertaining people. I love making people laugh. I love doing this. I love doing that. But now it just feels like a job, and that's not why I started this in the first place. So that might be something that you grapple with, but you could possibly avoid that by just giving yourself the time to rest and rejuvenate whenever it is necessary, and to reconnect with the people in your life. Remember that it's not like, that is not your life, you know, that is only one aspect of your life. Don't lose yourself in these things because it begins to feel more like a job and you are kind of so caught up in like the numbers, for example, or in the recognition. Like it's nice to receive recognition, but I feel like a big lesson for you this summer is basically learning that that is not the end all be all. It's nice to receive recognition and to receive praise and, you know, to see the numbers or whatever, but that is not what defines you as a person. And you might come across, or you might kind of realize that there might be some healing that needs to be done in terms of praise and in terms of like feeling worthy, and kind of not equating yourself and your worth with like the numbers and with how many people are looking at you and how many people are praising you. Because what if people just don't praise you anymore? You know what I mean? Is your worth suddenly just non-existent? No. People are going to be mad for whatever reason that they want to be mad, but that doesn't erase your worth. It doesn't erase your humanness. You know what I mean? So that's what I have for you there. Okay, and then finally we have potion. Remember to practice self-love. So this is really cool. I like this card because not only does it to me really relate to taking the time to rest and rejuvenate whenever it is necessary, but also I feel like this has to do with the healing with some sort of healing that relates to like why you may want so much praise. Like, yes, it has, like, you have the good intention of wanting to avenge your inner child, your younger self, you know what I mean? But with that, what's kind of hand in hand with that is healing your inner child and kind of acknowledging that these external things don't define you as a person, and they don't necessarily have to validate you. Like, it's nice, again, it's nice, it's lovely, we all love that, but they don't make you, if that kind of makes sense. So like, again, inner child healing may need to come to play throughout all of this, and you might kind of come to that realization if you end up at a place where you just feel really burnt out from doing the thing that you used to love doing, that type of thing. So that's what I have for you, group 4. I hope this resonates. I hope that you were able to get something out of this. And with that being said, I will talk to you later. Bye.